Yeah, yeah, I was on the
Okay,
inside.
well,
I actually even talked to him today, so. I
no,
know.
I'm sorry, some other thing. I just wanna make sure this is, you know,
I actually talked to him to get an understanding of what,
there, cause they said it was.
because there
Well,
was
no,
two
but
items
you can
on
hit
that,
mine.
what he emailed to us, and I got
Just
some
make
other-
sure.
What you trying to do there?
Oh, that's not under, I get what I need. Okay, you
Yeah,
got
it
it.
was
Okay.
open someplace.
Sorry,
Maybe
some
on
other
the top, I feel
You're good. You're fine.
kids, 4 and 5.
You're fine.
Glad, right?
I can always stand corrected, that's not a problem.
No, no, just.
What?
Alright.
Sitting correct, you're right, good
I'm
one,
just saying.
good one. But somebody's here to stay.
Don't count on it.
Kinda wet out there.
We gotta bring it in.
That's why you're the vice president. You take care of things like that.
Oh god, this is 5 minutes. That's a little bit slow, or a little bit fast.
And we'll go when it goes straight up. No, we're straight chairs.
A little late for that, isn't it?
Don't look at me, alright.
You don't know?
Adriana said don't look at her, she has no idea what's going on. I am not running the show. You would like to go? Hell no, I wouldn't.
So I want to say, it's happy everyone's here. I'm happy you guys all here came out. So, if anyone wants to say anything to the crowd, happy to be here. Thank you all for coming though.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, with that being said, I'm gonna call the meeting to order. It might be a minute or so early. Let's do the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry.
So, you're fine.
I'm like.
All right, recognitions of visitors. I see, Commissioner Mark Rice is here. Did, Mr. Van Loon come with you, or no?
I didn't think he was coming.
I heard that he might, so I didn't know if he traveled together or not.
No.
Mark wants to touch with us on a few things like possible grants and so on and so forth. But welcome our new commissioner, and, we'll go from there. Next order of business is roll call of council attendance. Michelle Courtwright,
Here.
Terry Gleason,
Here.
Cindy Burrows,
Here.
Anthony Urbano,
Here.
Robert Penzone.
Here.
You want me to call you Leonard or Eddie?
Eddie.
Eddie Wetzel.
Here.
The mayor,
Here.
and I'm here as well, so all present. Okay, now the minutes from the last meeting. Has everybody had a chance to look at those?
The only thing changed was that revised part of the letter that I.
That was in last month's minutes.
That was in the December minutes.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
This is just the last meeting that we're talking about now.
January 2nd.
Everybody's had a chance to look at that. And I'm not rushing anybody, so I entertain a motion to submit.
I make a motion to accept minutes.
Motion made by Councilman Urbano to accept the minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion seconded by Terry Gleason. Roll call vote. Michelle Courtwright,
Yes.
Terry Gleason,
Yes.
Cindy Burrows,
Yes.
Anthony Urbano,
Yes.
Bob Penzone.
No.
Okay. Eddie Wetzel,
Yes.
Chris doesn't have a vote, Matt, and I'll vote yes as well. So the motion carried 6-1. On the other, minutes that you're talking about was the minutes we approved last month with the exception, correction of the mention of the library, that we approved it that way. They've just been, that library information's been omitted and it's been submitted. Okay. Public comment on agenda items. Nobody has any public comment on the agenda items? I'll ask one more time. Anybody have a comment on agenda items? And if there's no comment, we're gonna move on. Treasurer's report, you guys all should have in front of you or looked at it prior to. So I'll entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Do you know if our workman's comp payments have gone up?
It's like 7,000.
They seem higher than normal.
I don't know what they were before, so I really can't speak to it.
I just wanted to wonder if that workman's comp plan, how that would affect us.
It very well possibly could.
Workers' comp is 72.98.
We can have that discussion with the CPA.
Cause we may, depend, I don't know how bad it is what I'm saying, how,
Okay,
we might have to go and look.
so you wanna know what the impact of a workman's comp claim
Yeah.
was on the insurance?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And how long does that normally last, and
I have no idea.
I'm just
Okay.
asking,
I got it.
yeah, that way, we may have to look for another insurance company,
Yes,
if it's going to affect us long term.
right. Okay, did anybody?
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Michelle Courtwright makes a motion to accept the treasurer's report. Do I have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Anthony Urbano. Roll call vote. Michelle Courtwright,
Yes.
Terry Gleason,
Yes.
Cindy Burrows,
Yes.
Anthony Urbano,
Yes.
Bob Penzone,
Yes.
Eddie Wetzel,
Yes.
And I will vote yes as well.
That's a
So 7-0. Motion passed 7-0. Okay, let's go to payment of the bills, and the same thing, everybody should have seen them either through the portal or they're here right now.
Can I see them?
That's what I have.
Are you able to get it in portal?
I worked at it.
Okay, well, it's been in there for a couple days.
Yeah, sorry, grandkids and
Just
everything
checking.
else.
Yep. And like I said before, if anybody has trouble accessing the portal or you haven't gotten the email from the CPA, let me know and I'll get her to send it out again.
Okay, I have a question. Verizon Wireless, where are the phones? We're paying for these phones and there's no wireless
looking at?
phones. I'm just looking that way because I can't look at him in the face.
Not a clue, do we have?
So
anybody?
that one is showing 14 cents. It should be all, yeah, I'm seeing the other names for, I remember this coming up in a council meeting before with all the names.
Yes, I do.
I
It's
thought
still
they were
active.
all.
It's still active.
It's
It's
not,
still active.
I
it's
thought
not a cell phone. It's the MiFi, or it's a sewer plant, the water plant.
Oh,
So,
Okay.
We probably
But
get
we're
those
paying.
names changed, cause it's still showing up individuals that's not
Yes.
here anymore. So we should get it
Okay.
changed.
okay, does that answer your question? Okay, any other questions on the bill?
She still is.
Well, I probably sent it over.
Question about.
What's that?
What you said.
Oh, I pulled them out.
They're on the outside of the envelope.
There were 5 that had no checks to them, they were just laying in there.
So these are basically everything that was listed on that sheet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay,
Go
so,
ahead with your, doing what you're doing.
so motion to pay the bills,
I make a motion to pay the bills.
motion made by Terry Gleason to pay the bills, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion seconded by Eddie Wetzel. Roll call vote, Michelle Courtwright,
Yes.
Terry Gleason,
Yes.
Cindy Burrows,
Yes.
Anthony Urbano,
Yes.
Bob Pencil,
Yes.
Eddie Wetzel,
Yes.
and I'm a yes as well, so motion carried 7-0. Okay, so that brings us to department reports, Chris?
I have one more bill,
Oh,
can
oh.
I add one more bill? Can you pay Glenn, the computer guy?
I had a phone conversation with Glenn the other day, and I think we're on the thing, I asked him to resubmit his invoice, because some of us have never seen that,
Okay.
and he's going to do so, and.
That was already done, that was done 10 minutes after, when we were on.
Right, but there's a time delay from us to getting the bill over to her and so on and so forth, so that'll be in next month's bill.
Really? Cause I was told that you were going to the bookkeeper Monday morning, so you wanted them while I was on the phone with you, so I sent them over to you, to Anthony.
I understand that.
How much is it?
So, is it,
Somewhere around
why is there another month delay when it's been 9 months? 9 months of almost 10 grand that should have been paid 9 months ago.
I
Why is there-
understand that was not me.
Rightfully so.
So I'm
Why is
going
there a
through
30
the,
I would
I'm
just-
going through the process. We got your invoice to her as soon as we can. She didn't get it processed to, if per our phone conversation, I told you that you might not get paid tonight.
You told me that you were taking my invoices over to the bookkeepers on Monday.
Which we did.
Please don't interrupt me. I'm not interrupting you, I'm asking a question.
Okay.
We were on the phone, you said you were gonna be taking these invoices over to the bookkeepers on Monday. To get them over to Anthony as soon as I could, I got them over to Anthony within 5 minutes of our conversation on Sunday. So let me ask you this, were they taken to the bookkeepers on Monday?
Yes, they were.
And so she's the one that's delayed the payment. This is why I'm going here, because I've already got a battle with her, and I explained that to you on Sunday.
The bills were done prior to Anthony getting it there on Monday. So I had this conversation with you, I told you I couldn't promise you that you'd be paid tonight. Did I not say that?
Yeah, you did not say that. In fact, what I did get was, you told Jessica Barron that I was gonna be paid tonight.
I didn't tell, I never,
Dave all said that we were gonna try to get him paid tonight.
Thank you, you said it,
I said I would try.
Cindy said it. Don't respond, so I'm trying to find out where the delay is it with you guys, or is it with the bookkeeper?
It's with the bookkeeper.
That's my problem, because she has a problem with me, so she has the right to delay me because she has a problem with me. And I have a problem with her legally speaking, because we're going after her criminally. It's just-
I understand your concerns.
Okay, so I explained this to you, we were on the phone, and I have a lawsuit going against her, because the charges that she's in big trouble with me. So I've already got the lawyers on her already, so she delays my payment because of a personal issue with herself, if she gets away with that, and that's legally allowed?
I will talk to her to see what happened, why she didn't get your bill in time. I assume it's a logistic thing. Anthony had to take it from here over to there, and if she had the bills done before we got there, which I don't control how she does her business, it's gonna back it up to whatever. I tried to get you paid, but unfortunately, the way the wheels turn, I couldn't do it.
I just find it very difficult to believe that the council, she has the right to dictate to the council when she's gonna pay your bills. When you go over there, what did you say to me? You said, when I go, you can roll your eyes at me, I don't think that's very professional or very fair. And he keeps looking at me like these bills shouldn't even be paid, because he was one of the criminals that caused all this problem.
Oh, criminal.
No.
Glad I got that
You
tape.
know,
I saw an email
Be
about that too.
respectful if you're calling him a criminal. Come on.
He's a scumbag. You want better words?
That's not gonna
Alright.
happen.
Well, call him.
That's partially why you're not getting paid, because you walked out on the borough.
Yeah.
I walked out of the borough?
Yes, you did.
Oh, because my investigation pointed the fingers right back at you and Chelsea, and you know it.
You know, we have other business to attend to.
So if the
I-
personal agenda is why this delay is happening again.
I can't say that because I don't know. We submitted the bill in a timely fashion after you sent it to Anthony.
Those
Anthony
bills were
took-
submitted to this council 9 months ago. You had
That's,
the
It's
bills,
not this
that's,
council.
that's
I
not,
understand that, but you had the bills already submitted. There was no reason for me to have to resubmit them, because they're already in your stack of papers from 9 months ago. All you gotta do is say, when you guys took over January 1st, give them the bucket for that. I don't understand what now another 30-day delay is about.
I didn't even know that.
Just move on.
So, your bills are over there, your bill is over there as of now.
All 3 of them.
Anthony said he took 3 bills over there. I saw them on email, but I wasn't the one that took them over there. I apologize for you.
I accept your apology, I'm okay with the 30 days. I just wanna make sure that all 3 of them are over there and all 3 of them are gonna be paid in the 30 days.
Correct.
That is correct.
That is correct.
Councilman, your Urbano can answer to that, cause he's the one that took them over.
Yes, I got your 3 bills and I did turn them in.
Okay. So I can expect to be paid the next council meeting.
Correct.
Okay.
You guys should have followed up with a phone call if you. knew
Somebody should have
everything
said
was
something to me,
checked.
because I just drove 2.5 hours in 4-wheel drive just to get here for
I
this meeting,
told
I was
you-
asked to be here.
I told you by phone
You did, to be here.
that I couldn't guarantee you that you was gonna get paid tonight.
That's fine. But you wanted me here at the meeting.
I didn't want you here at the meeting.
Wow, really? I got several of your members here who said that you said you wanted to be here, and I've got the
Well,
messages.
because I never said that.
So everybody just talk, all right, whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you guys, but I just drove 2.5 hours to get here 4-wheel drive weather because I was told to be here for this
I
purpose.
fully understand that, and I'm compassionate with you having to do that, but per our conversation, yours and mine,
If I come here to the next meeting, which I'll be here, I expect to get a check that night.
Or before, if we get them cut
I
before.
could say, or before, somebody
Or
should take it
before.
to him.
Yep,
Or
before.
yeah, because I just don't want to get emailed, that's all I've asked you, because we are having people stealing our mail over in Wellsville.
You better call ahead
Well,
of time,
I sent an email
before
out.
you drive all the way over.
Well, we have your new address that you put on there, so.
The 10 Maple Street, or,
The one that you put on the side, that one you hand wrote. You hand wrote an address to first.
I'm not handwriting anything on those invoices.
It was on the last invoice.
The ones that I emailed, I did not write anything on them.
It's the one I sent to everybody.
What is the appropriate address?
Can I give that to you? 10
Yes.
Maple Street,
Come
10.
forward.
I got a copy of those emails, or
What-
the invoice in my phone.
What is the
right?
address you want it sent to?
10 Maple Street.
And where's that?
Andover.
And where is that?
Andover, New York.
And what's the zip code, please?
14806,
And how do you spell your last name?
HOE, HN.
Okay. And it's Glenn, right?
Yes. Now, I respect you gotta go 30 days, I'm okay with that, that's not my problem.
So
I
what
just
is
was
it
told some
now?
other information when I first arrived here tonight, that really kinda got under my skin.
Did you hear it from me?
I did not, but it wasn't against you, it was about the bills and just in general, okay? So that started the snowball rolling as my attitude started getting a little hot because I've already been dealing with this for 9 months.
Well,
I understand that.
and I can
You have.
sympathize with you on that.
So I
And
respect your.
You and I had a phone
Yes, we
conversation,
did.
and did I not tell you
I
that I
can show you all the
couldn't
messages from several people in here that told me otherwise, so I was a little disconcerted.
So going forward,
Yep.
if it doesn't come from my mouth, you can't guarantee that I said it.
Well, I didn't say you said it.
Right.
But
I
I've
did
got,
not say you said
I've
it.
got your
Okay.
information.
I was told to come here for this
Are we,
meeting.
are we settled now?
I'm sorry, what?
Who said it?
Don't worry about it, I'm not talking to you. If I get anything to say, you're talking good.
So are you satisfied with,
Yeah, I'm absolutely satisfied. If you guys are gonna mail this thing out
Yep.
by the next council meeting, or within the day after it, or whatever the
Yep.
case is,
Yep.
I'm not gonna come to the next meeting, I have no
okay,
reason to
that's
come
fair
out.
enough.
It's 2.5 hour drive.
I'm sorry that you were led to believe that I wanted you to come to this meeting, because,
I got 6 different messages to me to be here tonight,
well,
so, fine.
going forward,
I'll say if you don't have your check before the next meeting, come to the meeting.
You got a card or phone number or anything I can grab?
I will give you my phone number.
and you have my phone number.
I do, I have your contact information. I have
Okay.
mine. Thank you.
I just need to,
Appreciate your time.
I just need to move on with this meeting, and if you're
Well,
satisfied
that's
with
a
what I
one.
told you, then,
Yeah, I'm
so
fine,
be-
listen, I'm fine with everything as long as I know it's gonna be happening now.
yeah.
Cause I
yeah.
got, I already retained the lawyers, I got a meeting on Thursday
Okay,
morning, I'm
okay,
gonna cancel,
okay,
so that's
okay,
where I'm.
We got you.
Okay.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
thank you guys for your time.
Have a good night.
All right,
Thank you.
where was I at? Police report?
Yes.
report, I guess?
Yeah.
Police report? Is anybody from the police here?
No, if there is.
I don't see a police officer out there, no.
Okay, fire department.
No.
Anybody from the fire, oh, wait a minute.
Joyce is here.
Joyce is here.
So, yeah, I'm not normally the person who brings this to you, but I
Okay.
have other issues, so I wanted to bring it. But the fire department had, let's see, 7 calls, an automatic alarm, 3 motor vehicle accidents, 1 hazmat investigation down, and 1 wires down, and the total for the year is 141 calls.
Okay.
The department had air pack training on December 11th with the Elkland and Mansfield Fire Departments. And there's a video of that on our Facebook page, it's very interesting. These guys are training like crazy
Mhm.
to protect this community.
I drive by there and see them training a lot.
Okay, and then I've got a list of the officers who
Okay.
were just elected. Now, I was in here last Tuesday with a check that Vicky had issued for the
Okay.
Relief Association for an amount less than what the state had sent to the borough.
Okay.
So I should have a check in there for $3,391.48.
We'll double check it, and,
That's right.
it'll probably have to be signed.
And I told her I would give you the check
Three.
that wasn't any good.
Okay. Okay, so you guys saw that?
Yeah,
Okay.
you just gotta approve or sign it.
It's got
So, you can mail
Oh,
it.
I don't think I
We can
can
mail
sign
it. It's fine.
Can I?
I don't know, if you got your check signed, whoever the check signed.
Well, the check sign's gonna be.
They have to go to the, they have to go to the
I'm
bank,
just
yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
in general.
Because,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a discussion we can have.
And then another thing about that, since you all are new,
Oh,
that
we're not
check,
all new.
well, that check is supposed to be to the fire department within 90 days of receipt, and it's
Okay.
beyond that.
Okay,
These are funds that are state audited,
okay,
so the state auditor might come and see you guys as well.
okay, I'll deal with that when the time comes, but it wasn't me.
And I know it wasn't. And then this is, I don't know if you got the contract for the current year.
I believe we had that contract.
I do too.
And did we get a check for this month? Was there a check in there for the fire department for this month?
No.
So, this is another thing.
Okay.
Do you have an extra copy of the contract? There you go. Thank you. We don't?
The main part about that contract is the fact that because of the new reassessment, we couldn't do the normal millage because the reassessment doubled, so the millage would've doubled. So
Okay.
the main part of the contract is right here, where you owe that much for the year or that much per month.
Okay, alright, we'll keep that, and I'll make a copy of this.
Oh.
Library,
The post office is here.
oh,
Maybe you want that report.
okay,
Better late than never.
Do you have a report?
I gave it last meeting.
Okay.
okay. Alright, so we're to library.
Okay, I'll keep this short. Again, there's some new people on, the council, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of historical information about the library and how it's sort of set up. The library was established in 1973 by Retta Bosworth Perry. She still lived in the house, when the library first opened. It was kind of like a one-room library. When she, in her will, she bequeathed the library building to the Borough of Lawrenceville. She died in 1994. The library is funded by a trust fund established by Retta. Quarterly dividends are deposited into the library checking account. Unfortunately, due to no secretary and other reasons, access to this money has been difficult in the last couple of years. We did manage to have a good year, 2023, from the kindness of our friends, the community, the church was awesome. We had many successful events and were able to raise some money and kept things going, I think, pretty well. At this point, we need to, last year we received the Kreger, we received some money from the Kreger Foundation, and the deadline is nearing, and we have spent some money that we paid for personally for some of the items. And I know I talked to Vicki at one point, and there were some things that were purchased that the general fund paid for rather than the checking account. So, make a long story short, what I'd like to do is I would like to meet with the finance committee and try to get those things straightened out. And also, some reimbursements, some very large reimbursements have not been repaid to the people who put the personal money up to do those things. Another thing, kind of related to money as well, is that this year, we received 3 pieces of mail that didn't come to the library because it went to 6 Cherry Street, and the post office does not have a registered address for 6 Cherry Street. So, like two of those pieces of mail were checks, they were donations, and they took like 3 months to finally get to me, and they were deposited. So I'm suggesting that we need our own mailbox, a locked one, and I think that needs to happen. Otherwise, in 2024, we hope to continue to make improvements to the library, physically and socially, in terms of providing services to the community. Terry and I met with Lions Club last night, and they're interested in working together. In fact, they're going to check on maybe a possible reading program for the kids in the summer. It's called RAP or something, so we're going to be talking about that. And I know Chris Kaufman was interested in doing some reading things over the summer, so we're going to check into that and hopefully get some volunteers that will say they'll show up at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock during the week or on the weekend. So, can I meet with somebody later to set up a time or let you know when available? Okay.
The committees aren't set yet until I set them, so
I know.
We can go from there.
Okay.
Thanks, Lucy.
Yeah.
Ambulance, anybody from the ambulance here? Water and sewer, I believe normal business is going on over there. They're taking care of what they can. Been a few calls to the State Street lift station. Matter of fact, Michael had one today. It was full of trash, and I I actually had a conversation with, Jody Fisher today, and he suggested that maybe we write a letter about putting things in that thing, in the, that we can hang on the doors there, so we'll pursue that as we go. And actually, it's on the agenda to talk about that lift station anyways.
I was gonna ask you if they put a cage around that.
That's in the works, just have to get the logistic things of it lined up. Okay, at this point, I'm gonna move on to new business. Commissioner Mark Rice, do you wanna talk about the CDBG grant?
Yeah, over the last year, I've visited with folks in Lawrenceville Borough. I've visited with several of the new board members about some of the water and sewer issues here in Lawrenceville Borough. And I mentioned that, there are CDBG dollars that come to Tioga County every year that are managed through the Housing Authority that could be used specifically for water infiltration in your sewer system. So if that's something that Lawrenceville was interested in, looking into to see if we could get a grant application submitted. We could set up a meeting with Dan Staborski from the Housing Authority.
Okay.
Come down, talk about what would need to happen to submit that application. There would have to be a survey done, but it is money that's available only to Tioga County, so it's not that competitive. And it, would specifically target, water infiltration issues. There are other grant opportunities, obviously, if there's issues for water, or there are issues with your water system. There's H2O grants, there's several other grants as well. But essentially, you just have to have your highest priority, a scope of work, and then, start looking at funding sources to, work on those items.
Okay.
It will take some work from the borough though. I mean, there would have to be some commitment, there'd have to be a point of contact, and there would have to be someone that would handle the paperwork and, be that point of contact. So it is a little bit of work, but it's worth it.
Yep.
So.
So, hey, Chris Davis, the mayor.
Chris, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So we are dealing with this stuff as you know that the EPA has, documents that we have to control and be able to improve on down there. We're working on a new operations manual. It's huge. I'm gonna talk to council about it tonight, but it could steamroll into that using those funds. I guess that's something we could do, because if we do what we gotta do, what we have to do, the plant's gonna have, SOPs, it's gonna have, work instructions, a general work plan, what we need to fix, an action plan.
Yeah.
All that stuff will be laid out in front of you before, we use that funds.
Yeah, that'd be great. I also talked to Kim Jennings from Northern Tier Regional Planning, and she can actually help with the grant applications. So I know Jimmy Joe Carl is your engineer, so, if he could draw up a scope of work, and you guys could help with, starting the application, Kim could help, make sure it has all the key points in there and all the touch words and, everything to make sure that it scores well.
Nice.
And she would help target, funding sources as well, so.
Nice.
But I think the next step in that would be just to have a meeting with, with your group, Tioga County, the Housing Authority, and Kim Jennings from Northern Tier Regional Planning, maybe after you get, this scope of work set up.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Again, we're just here to help, so, any way we can help and advocate to make some of these repairs, the Board of Commissioners will definitely do that.
That's awesome.
We appreciate your help.
Yeah.
I haven't done
Nice to
anything
see
yet.
help.
Well,
I'm looking forward to it though, I hear
we are
about,
too, we are too.
I think there should be reliable water and sewer, so,
I agree, I agree.
And congratulations, by the way.
thank you.
And congratulations to you. So do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's it.
Okay, I'm gonna move on with the agenda. Now we're to the appointment of committees. I spent a lot of time with this over the weekend, coming up with these. This does not reflect on anybody. This is just where I think that I can best manage things. As the president of the council, I will sit in on any and all committees. So I'm going to read off my appointments, omitting myself, knowing that I would be on every committee. So that being said, water and sewer, Anthony Urbano, Michelle Portright, and Terry Gleason. Finance committee, Michelle, Anthony, and Terry again. Personnel committees, just bear with me, this sounds redundant, but this is the best that I could come up with. Again, Michelle, Anthony, and Terry. Public safety, Anthony and Bob. And me, of course. Roads and streets, myself, Bob, and Cindy. Recreation, myself, Cindy, and Terry. Shade tree will be Bob, Cindy, and myself. Dikes and levees will be Bob, Cindy, and Eddie, and myself. Those are my choices, and
Shade Tree Committee, did you say?
How many dikes you wanna know who live here?
no, that's not even an appropriate question.
Wow.
The dikes and the levees.
Yeah, well, it's been an issue for the last 4 years and it hasn't been taken
Well,
care of.
well, then maybe your committee, and I'm on that committee as well, maybe we can resolve that.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Can you tell me why, when you have a board member that deals with a $40 million budget, that she is not on finance committee?
This is my decision.
That's what I figured.
Now, do we get a copy of that? So
I
we
will,
can
I
take
will,
notes at it?
I have it right here, Mr. Wetzel.
Thank you.
I'm looking right there.
Cindy, you're on recreation, shade tree.
Just one comment.
I'm good at that.
The mayor's typically on the
Public safety.
public
Public
safety.
safety.
Oh, okay, I wasn't aware of that.
I was gonna wait till
I
you're done.
think that's a
I wasn't aware of that.
requirement, but,
I thought it had to be all council.
yeah,
That's okay.
is that correct?
Yeah, I use
That's my ignorance for not
That's
knowing.
fine, that's fine.
Thanks,
it.
Bob.
Thank you for correcting me on that. So, I'm gonna pass these around. Just everybody pencil, Chris Davison on public safety. So, I voted on that one. Because the chairs will be elected once the committees meet. Do you have enough yet?
Get to be on the same committees again.
Okay.
Alright.
I know. Aren't you
Oh, we
excited?
got a copy there.
Yeah. Aren't you excited to get the book again?
Hey, Barry, before you go further, can I get my mayor's report real quick?
Sure, I thought you already did, but.
We skipped him.
That's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
D-Y-K-E-S. That is not how you spell
No, it
dikes.
So I misspelled
It's
that.
D-I, that's why I'm questioning, what am I looking for?
Okay.
That isn't all what your question was.
That was a typo.
It was on the same one last year and the year before that.
Well, then apparently not everybody knows how to spell it.
And your comment was just ignorant. Absolutely it was.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jessica.
It wasn't Jessica.
It was
Erica. That was me. You don't know me.
So I'm gonna move on. You wanted to do a.
Yeah,
mayor's
real quick,
report?
I wanna update everybody on the AOC, and, so some updates from last week. Hopefully the quote that I gave you guys, and sent your email, you guys looked at, I talked to Lisa this morning, and it basically covers, this is the outline, it's $5,000, this guy. The scope of work is the schedule, cost, terms and condition, and item 43, which is the most important part of getting this O&M manual knocked out, okay? So at the same time, we got Andy Blitzner's quote, which is, cause you're gonna have another team come in to do the work, to do all the, maintenance that we need done, the SOPs, all that kind of stuff. Was Andy's quote. Now we've asked Apex for that quote too. Now the document is ready in EPA's hands and has not sent it to us.
they're doing that to do us a favor. Cause once she sends it, you guys see the list, 20 days, 30 days, 45 days. We wanna get all our quotes in line first, you know, what we're gonna do and start this process. So she's holding on, Ann Leslie's holding on to that for us, till we get our quotes, we're waiting for one more quote from Apex. But I say we get started with this O&M manual, we get them down there, they're already part of this process. But we need to get going with this quote right here, cause they'll start, you know, we can set up the time and she's already here. And you're welcome to look at the item 43 of what they're working on and what they said in their scope, but it's in your guys' emails, is what I talked about last week. And I really don't wanna wait a month to make this happen, guys. I suggest that we make a motion to accept this quote from Apex.
I make a motion to accept this quote from Apex, $5,000.
So there's a $5,000 quote on the table from
Yes.
Apex to do the OEM manual, correct?
Proposal number 16589831713.
There's a motion on the floor to accept
Apex proposal.
Apex proposal, what was the number again?
165-898.
165-898.
317.
317.
13.
Michelle made the motion to accept that. Do I have a second?
I'll make a second.
Anthony Urbano seconded. Roll call vote.
Discussion here.
Oh, okay.
So is there a time frame when they're saying they can complete that by?
Yeah, it's before, it's before the EPA.
Yeah, but is that in there?
It's in writing.
Yeah, it's, this guy right here of, within 45 days of the effective date of the AOC is accepted, they have to have it done. 45 days, and they, yeah, PAD, well, it hasn't been signed yet. Well, once we sign, once we get our quotes going, they're willing to, you know, they've already read this, they already read the AOC, they know exactly what they're up against.
So, we're gonna meet the deadline from the start or no?
I think we start on before the start.
What I'm saying is, when is the AOC, how much time are they giving us?
No, there's no, it's done, they're just holding on to it.
45 days.
So when they send it to us and we sign it as a group, I guess with me, I'm gonna sign it, that clock starts ticking that day.
I understand, but what is the document gonna say? It's gonna say 30 days, 60 days, 90, not
Yeah.
this one, the AOC.
Yeah, well, it says it right here, exactly what the terms and conditions are. For Apex Services.
They're gonna take 45 days, all I'm saying is, how long is EPA giving us? Because if they only give us 30 days, we're late from the start. That's all I'm asking.
Where's the original draft, the ASA?
It's the
So
last
the
one that we
EPA
agreed with, which
is
is this.
dependent on the, I don't know, I don't know either, so I agree.
So if we agree to this tonight, how long does it take to get it in place?
These guys, as soon as we call them, as soon as they get a check, and I guess they said in here the payment is cost is Apex will perform work identified in this proposed time on time and material based according to the attached rate schedule. The budgetary purposes is estimated cost of $5 million.
Can't get the check the next month.
Sounds to me like they're gonna invoice us.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
Because it's time and material, so.
Terms are due payable. Apex Services. So we must need
They didn't
time
ask for
30
a
days.
deposit, did they?
No.
No.
So I think they're just gonna get started on a signed, that's what it's saying.
Yeah, we're
on
gonna
a signed.
sign it,
Okay.
yep. To get the work done.
So, are we done with the discussion?
There's no answer, so I, you know, it's fine, I guess.
So there's a motion on the table to accept the
Apex.
Apex. Do I have a second?
Anthony
seconded it. So roll call vote. Michelle Cartwright,
Yes.
Terry Gleason.
Yes.
Cindy Burrows,
Yes.
Anthony Arano,
Yes.
Robert Penzone,
Yes.
Eddie Wetzel,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well.
7-0.
Motion carries 7-0.
You guys have already gave me approval to sign it, so I'll
Yes.
send it out, a copy of you
Done.
guys, so, we'll wait for the correspondence back from Apex.
Okay, the next thing, you kind of jumped
Yeah, he totally did.
Sorry about that, lady.
It's right.
The next thing on the agenda is DEP Environmental Hearing Board, $4,600 resolution. This is something that we've already sent the check to DEP, they're just waiting on the signed resolution, which I have here in front of me. and we can sign it tonight. Do we have a motion to accept that resolution?
I make a motion to accept that resolution.
Michelle Courtwright made his, motion to accept that resolution.
I did.
Terry Gleason second. Anybody want any discussion on that? I'll go ahead with a roll call vote. Michelle Courtwright,
Yes.
Terry Gleason, Cindy Burrows,
Yes.
Anthony Urbano,
Yes.
Bob Penzone,
Yes.
Eddie Wetzel,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well. Motion carried
7-0.
7-0. Okay, we already covered the Apex thing, cause the mayor wasn't patient. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is for me to appoint check signers. That will be the four on the finance committee, which is me, Anthony, Michelle, and Terry. Okay. I don't think that's open for discussion. Next thing on the designation of newspaper of record.
Wait a minute.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Appointment for check signers.
Yeah.
That needs to be done via roll call vote.
Okay.
Because it has to be in the minutes, because
Okay.
we take it to.
Yeah, you
take
Right,
it down.
right, okay.
So we need to
So-
have an official record of
We
it.
need to have a motion to accept my offers for check signers. Do I have a motion for that?
Okay, I'm trying to take notes, sorry.
Yeah, I make a motion to accept the check signers.
Do I have
As presented.
as presented, do I have a second?
I second.
Michelle seconded. Roll call vote. Michelle Courtwright,
Yes.
Terry Gleason,
Yes.
Cindy Burrows, Anthony Urbano,
Yes.
Bob Penzone,
Yes.
Eddie Wetzel,
Yes.
and my vote is yes as well, so
7-0.
motion carries 7-0. Okay, so we're down to designation of newspaper of record. Do anybody have any suggestions?
Wellsboro Gazette.
Wellsboro Gazette?
Nice.
Any other recommendations?
So Wellsboro Gazette's gonna be newspaper of record for.
Well, wait a minute, we gotta,
I know, I'm just asking.
Would be
Would be
the
for
one that's
circulating.
in.
for like legal notices and things like that. Cause Wellsboro Gazette is a legal notice paper where they can do legal notices. So I'd entertain a motion to recommend the Wellsboro Gazette as the paper of record.
I make a motion to make the Wellsburg Gazette the newspaper of record.
Motion made by Terry Gleason to make the Wellsboro Gazette the newspaper of record. Do I have a second?
I second.
And seconded by Anthony Urbano. Any discussion on that? I'm gonna assume no. So
Can I
roll.
make a comment about the Wellsboro Gazette? So they don't have access online without paying for their subscription. So it does unfortunately limit your audience. Unlike the Penny Saver, they don't put their periodicals up for us to access. So food for thought, if
Penny Saver's not a paid paper.
And we can't put
It's
legal
not
notices
circulating.
in.
No.
but so those of us that don't live in the area that can't grab a paper actually don't have access to that information. So just comment
Okay.
that
Okay.
they make you pay.
Right now I have on the table one paper and I have to go with it.
Food for thought.
But that
So,
shouldn't matter, cause it's still being put in a paper that is circulating,
Mm-hmm.
so it's
It
not,
is. They don't
online's
have
not an
online
option.
access.
okay, I'm
That doesn't matter.
moving forward
It
with a
was
roll
just a
call
comment.
vote for accepting the Wellsboro Gazette as a paper of record. Michelle Courtwright,
Yes.
Terry Gleason,
Yes.
Cindy Burrows,
Yes.
Anthony Urbano,
Yes.
Bob Penzone,
Yes.
Eddie Wetzel,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well.
7-0.
Motion carried 7-0. I'm gonna have some discussion on, there's keys out here and so on and so forth. Some locks have been already changed, but, people that need to return any borough property, that including, keys, tools, even documents that should come back to the borough. I don't know if I need to make this a motion or that's just a statement.
I would say it's just a statement.
Do you know where the warranty book is at? When they send you
I saw one, an old copy of the ordinance book, but I don't know where the newest one is.
Yeah, that needs to be public.
Table for next meeting.
That's where I saw the old one when it was in there yesterday.
That's the only place they'd be kept.
Okay,
We need to
so
check
maybe
that.
that's the,
Did you check the back?
I have not checked, extensively checked that.
Okay, I go to that office and then check the file.
Check the file cabinets.
Because they used to be in the filing cabinets.
Okay, just, you know, if you have anything out there, get it back to us. The next order of business is putting some security cameras on the borough office and the sewer and water buildings.
What happened to the security cameras you had in this building?
You've already got cameras sitting out here, ain't they working?
They don't work.
Haven't been working.
They used to.
They used to.
They haven't.
Haven't seen any,
Does somebody pull the wires
haven't seen
out?
anything connected like a box or a screen or anything, so I don't know. No, I think it was passive, it was passive? It was passive, it wasn't anything that was armed.
So, does somebody wanna make a motion that we seek, quotes for security systems? What's that?
No, you don't need a motion, you just need a motion before you
Security system.
purchase it.
Okay. Okay, so, Anthony, you wanna do some research on that? Terry, you can help?
Table it then.
Table it.
Table that.
Cause I have one in my shop.
Building committee would do that or something.
Yeah, you definitely need that.
Okay, so, it's come to my attention that, we're pretty weak personnel wise as far as, sewer and water. That's open for discussion. Right now, we have one full-time employee and one part-time employee,
Who are they?
Wayne Smith.
Can I ask, who's the full-time employee?
Michael
Anderson.
Inman and Wayne Smith is the part-time employee.
Dave don't work there anymore?
Dave resigned.
Good. Sorry, just telling you how I feel, he's lazy.
Okay, so, I think we're gonna need a motion to advertise for that. Somebody wanna make that motion?
I make a motion to advertise for water sewer employee.
Per
Per borough handbook.
Per borough handbook.
So there's Michelle made a motion to advertise for a sewer and water employee per the borough handbook. Do I have a second?
I second.
Anthony Urbano, second. Do we want any discussion on that? Bob, anybody, Eddie?
Yeah, so there was a handout given at the last meeting, is that gonna be the job description, or what's, I guess, the
That
title?
was the job
Because,
description, wasn't it?
I believe so.
That was what you thought.
like, that's what I'm asking, so
Yeah,
is it gonna, is that gonna be it?
That is a basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for instance, is it a maintenance person, or,
Fixer, builder.
We have a job description, right? That's whatever one we have, we have a job description.
Right, and Bob's correct, there was a job description there. I think you're just
I'm
wanting
just saying,
clarification.
as a week ago, so is that what's gonna be advertised, or is it gonna be something different?
That was my intent, to advertise just what we had in.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got a copy, I'm trying to figure out if that's what we're advertising.
This is what we're advertising.
That's what we're advertising,
Yes.
okay.
Okay, any other discussion?
Oh, you putting that on Indeed?
Yeah, you can put it on Indeed and list that in the Wellsburg Gazette as well as the secretary position that wasn't listed only on Indeed.
Okay. I've already got 6 resumes, so.
Are you guys gonna put the range of pay on there, or based off experience after we interview?
I would say we base that off experience after we interview. So right now Michelle has a motion for that, I need Anthony seconded. So, if we're done with discussion on that, I'll move on to a roll call vote. Michelle Courtright,
Yes.
Terry Gleason,
Yes.
Cindy Burrows,
Yes.
Anthony Urbano,
Yes.
Bob Penzone. Yes. Eddie Wetzel,
Yes.
and my vote is yes as well, that motion carried 7-0.
Sorry, I'm doing common sense,
Okay.
The next order of business on the agenda is water meter at the Senior Housing Authority. Several of us have been there and looked at that. There is a definite leak, and it's definitely confined to the meter. You know, I don't really, I think this is a maintenance issue that we should just order this. I don't know if we have to put this to a motion or not. Bob, do you have any recommendations on that?
It's maintenance.
It's just maintenance, yeah.
So, to handle that, we'll get the part number and we can get that ordered.
Yes.
And replace it as once we receive it.
Did Mike usually change that?
There's got various people doing over there, is it a normal residential or is it?
It's the over in senior housing where they've got.
I never seen it. So.
Okay.
It's a large 1.5-inch diameter meter.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to look at it.
It's a commercial water meter.
Okay.
It's a Kent.
And you've been in contact with the personnel at housing.
Yes.
So we can have a discussion with them to see how they wanna go about doing that. So I don't think that needs a motion, it's regular maintenance and we need to fix it. Okay, so that gets us to, November.
No, notice of violation.
Notice of violation, 1/5/2024. This is a result of the tank inspection.
Yeah, copy of it.
Yeah, I do. Hold on, I just gotta sort through my stuff.
I forgot to print that.
Someone.
Yeah, I have it in there. You'll have it right there. Don't worry about it.
What do you need a copy of, Chico?
I think he's got it right here.
I think it is too.
So basically, I had a conversation with Mr. Actuella from DEP. He recommended that this was a violation, and, not that they were gonna fine anybody or anything like that, but we need to get it through. I have a copy of the estimate, and this is to replace the vent and the screen that was not correctly. I'll just pass this around. I'm sorry I didn't make copies of this, but you can take a look at it.
I did too.
In a nutshell, the main issue with inspection was what the vent on top.
The screen on the vent on top
Yeah.
was improperly, clean back in the day when they put that in, it was improperly installed. DEP's action was to fix the screen, but I think, per recommendation, they wanted to replace the vent, and with that, the screen would be replaced. I have quotes for both.
Is this a gold screen or
I have quotes for both. That's just replacing the screen, that's not replacing the vent.
That's both. The other one's
is
both.
it, the other one's both?
The other one's both.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
No, they're not separate, they're,
I'm
Right.
confused, did the inspection come back clean?
No.
no, it did not.
Yeah, I remember reading something too. I just
Yeah.
can't remember
Yeah,
what
they
it was.
needed a ladder cable for other items as well.
Yeah, but that's not this.
No.
No, this is just the vent on the very top.
One of
That
the
has to
items
take care of that.
knows. Mark
But
something
this
knows
one,
where.
this one after that.
Well, I mean, what, you obviously have a comment.
Well, this wasn't even flagged, but then it becomes flagged after the inspection.
Like, it was flagged to me the other
But
day.
this wasn't flagged in the inspection.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it was.
I know there was something.
When I read through it, it was flagged in the inspection.
There were a whole bunch of odds and ends.
Yeah.
Nothing
Little
that-
stuff.
That's,
Yeah.
but that's the one that
Yeah, that's the
they
one
focused on. When I say they, I mean DEP.
Algae on the outside. Do you want a copy of the inspection report to look at? I can show you.
Is this something we wanna deal with, or
Do you have a choice?
I was just gonna say that.
I'm listening for a motion to,
My point is there needs to be a debrief with the engineer, because the last debrief I heard was the tank was clean, essentially, that yes, there may have been minor issues, but
How long do we have to fix this?
Mark Actuola told me that it wasn't something that he was gonna fine you immediately on, but he would appreciate some response to it.
So can we table it until February?
So you wanna have a discussion with Jimmy Joe?
I mean, he's been involved with this from the start.
I'm open for that,
And this is a different vendor too, I think.
that's the vendor that did the.
That's the vendor that did the inspection.
Yeah, right here, it's on his inspection.
Is it?
Minor deficiencies, there's a storage tank vents are not screened, doesn't not meet the design doesn't meet the design standards set forth, in the public water supply. It must be a mandatory water supply. This Atlantic.
Okay.
So,
It's been planned.
does somebody wanna make a motion to table this till we talk to Jimmy Joe, or do we wanna vote on that quote?
Talk to Jimmy Joe. Maybe
Okay, so,
Okay.
are you gonna make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Cindy's making a motion that we talk to Jimmy Joe before approving this quote.
She has to make a motion.
Right.
I'm doing what he said.
Unfortunately, you can't do that. Give
I
me a
make the
hand.
motion, we speak to Jimmy Joe about this quote. Before we decide anything else.
So Cindy wants to make a motion to talk to Jimmy Joe before we act on those quotes.
I'll second it.
Terry Gleason seconded, roll call vote, or discussion?
Who's gonna contact you, Joe, which one of us?
Stormwater committee.
I can give him a call in the morning.
Okay.
Clear who's gonna call him.
Anthony's gonna try calling in the morning. If Anthony doesn't get a response,
I'm a call and email.
I will try after Anthony and we'll go from there. Okay, so the motion is to table this till we speak with Jimmy Joe and then revisit.
Yep.
So a roll call vote, Michelle,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well. Motion carried 7-0. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the State Street lift station. I think that's just a discussion of who does the State Street lift station belong to? DEP tells me that that belongs to the borough.
Always been that way.
I don't think we need any motions for that. That clarifies what you asked. Yes, that lift station is ours. It's a problem child because the light's on all the time. And, Wayne and Michael are going over tomorrow to look at it to see what's making the light come on all the time. I know Michael cleaned it out today. There was a bunch of junk in there. I mean, stuff that shouldn't have been in there. And even the property owner was surprised some of the stuff that was in that when Michael cleaned it out today. So I think there's two-part issue. We may be able to put a letter on the tenant's doors over there that putting this stuff is not acceptable. I don't know how far that goes because.
So I have a recommendation, we actually send it borough-wide and them.
That's right.
It's not just one.
That's right, that's right.
It's borough-wide.
So.
And let Jody Fisher know that there's some responsibility on his part.
I had a conversation with him
I
today.
put that in writing too.
Yep.
Because the last time, the bill was ungodly when that back.
Yep. I've been monitoring it just about on a daily basis. It's been on a few times when I went over there and then other times it's not. When I see it on, I call whoever's on duty for the sewer and water plant, whether it be Wayne or Michael, and I send them one.
It didn't come on till early this morning.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and watch it.
No, I can see it right from my house.
Yeah.
That's bright.
I have to jump in the car and drive around there and look at it.
It's really bright.
So I think we're good with that, that we know that's a borough entity, and, we'll draft a letter to,
Did they have to have somebody come in and inspect that or go down and clean that? What can we do about it?
We can't go inside confined space.
You typically have a vendor do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but
Just so you guys know, this is nothing new, this is.
right,
Yeah.
The issue is, a lot of it is debris, which is against the ordinance, and it's quite clear where it comes from, cause it only serves 3 dwellings.
it only serves his dwellings.
Yes, so we struggle with this based upon who's the tenant.
Unfortunately, we can't invade in somebody's privacy and see what they're dumping down the tank.
Right, but you know where it's coming from though.
Right. I agree. So does I know there may be some things that people, that didn't get on the agenda that people wanna do. There's a mechanism for doing that. So if anybody wants to amend the agenda, you just have to make a motion to do so, and then we'll go from there.
We're gonna do this tonight, this is the 4,600. That's a 4,600 check.
That was on the agenda.
Yeah,
but we
We did that.
We did that.
I haven't signed it yet.
Yeah, we'll sign it.
Okay,
Do you want me to sign it right now?
no, that's okay, I didn't know you guys talking.
Yeah, we talked about
Gave
it.
them
Yeah.
copies, yeah.
I don't know how it got over there, but it did. So, if somebody wants something else on the agenda, please speak forward.
I would like to add to the agenda to appoint a
Hold on.
minute taker.
You wanna make a motion to,
Amend the agenda.
yes. There's a motion on the floor to amend the agenda by Michelle Courtwright. Is there a second?
I second.
Anthony seconds Michelle's motion to amend the agenda. Roll call vote for that would be Michelle.
Yes.
That's, yeah,
Don't you
Uh,
wanna know?
yeah.
Yeah, we will once,
Okay,
once,
I'm just not sure how that works.
once approved to amend the agenda,
No, we
then.
usually say what.
I'm not gonna vote on amending it if I don't.
Yeah,
Right,
Okay,
if we don't know what
okay.
it's for.
Well, I'm
She-
surprised this.
Alright, tell us what it's for. I thought we had to amend the
Good
agenda
point,
first and then
Frank.
do that.
Thanks, Bob.
You're still new at this, Barry, you'll get it.
Alright.
I'm working at it.
So, I want to make a motion to amend the agenda to appoint a minute taker for these meetings monthly until such time that a secretary is hired and up and running.
You don't wanna do that?
Okay, so Michelle has a motion to amend
The agenda
to ask for a minute taker
going forward.
until we have a
secretary.
full-time secretary hired per the employee handbook. Do I have a second?
I second.
Anthony Urbano seconds. Does anybody want to have any discussion on that?
Who would be it?
That's the next motion.
No, I was not, don't bring that up.
With no discussion, I'll go to a roll call vote. Michelle Courtwright,
Yes.
Terry Gleason,
Yes.
Cindy Burrows,
Yes.
Anthony Urbano,
Yes.
Bob Penzone,
Yes.
Eddie Wetzel,
Yes.
myself, yes.
It's a 7-0.
Okay.
Alright, now I make a motion to appoint Jessica Barron as the minute taker monthly until such a time a secretary is hired and up and running.
I would've done it.
Huh?
I would've taken a minute.
I'm making the motion on the floor.
There's a motion on the floor. You can nominate somebody else if you want. So there's a motion on the floor to appoint Jessica Barron as the temporary note taker or minute taker until a secretary is found. Do I have a second?
Shouldn't it be somebody
Oh,
that's
let's ask
already
this.
part of the
Let's-
borough?
Can we
Oops,
just,
sorry.
motion on the floor?
Can I ask if she wants to actually do it?
I already did
Okay.
that, thank you. So, yeah,
So I'm looking for a second.
Then I second.
Anthony and Brown will second that. If you, do you wanna have discussion? Do you wanna possibly add somebody else? And we can do it like a vote like we did president.
Yeah.
Well, she made the motion, yep, we have a second, so now we
Yep.
gotta vote
Yeah,
on
roll
it.
call.
Okay.
And if it fails,
Yep.
you vote again on somebody else.
Okay.
Passes.
Michelle Courtwright,
Yes.
Terry Gleason,
Yes.
Cindy Burrows,
No.
Anthony Urbano,
Yes.
Bob Penzo,
No.
Eddie Wessel.
No.
I'll vote yes.
That's 4-3.
Motion carries 4-3.
Okay, that's all I have.
Anything else we wanted to add to the agenda, like maybe budget?
Yes, I will make a motion to reopen the budget. Oh, to, a motion to amend the agenda to reopen the budget.
Okay, Ms. Terry has made a motion to open the agenda to make a motion to open the budget. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Michelle seconded. I don't, if there's discussion, we can have discussion. If not, I'll move on to a vote. Okay, roll call vote. Michelle Courtwright,
Yes.
Terry Gleason,
Yes.
Cindy Burrows,
Yes.
Anthony Urbano,
Yes.
Bob Penzo,
No.
Eddie Wetzel,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes. Motion carried 6-1. Does anybody else have anything you wanna add to the agenda?
Are we going to sign that paperwork for 57 Mechanic Street? Because we voted on it back in November.
It wasn't.
That was not voted on in November.
It was never voted on.
Just happened to have the minutes here.
Do you have the video of the whole meeting? 'Cause
Here it
there's
is.
nothing in there.
Motion made by, signed documents for EPA administrative order. And then it says, motion by Cindy Burrows, second by Mansell, to acknowledge the attorney's recommendation to sign the administration order to consent. And then it went through.
This is
No,
why
it
they
did
don't
not.
want.
No, it didn't. It's on
Because they
video.
don't keep manipulating the meeting minutes. I filmed no
You're saying
such
that?
thing.
Didn't.
That is not on the film.
Mm-mm.
November sixth. Go watch the video again.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
on
there.
here.
Well,
Go watch
it might
the
be on the
video.
minutes, but it's not right.
Where they voted on?
Mm-hmm. Me?
No, I mean
Mansell?
the minutes.
Yeah. Back in December. You even voted yes. Yes was me, Mansell, Michelle, Claire, and
To
Hank.
what?
And Gordy voted no. To sign for
That was
the
for me,
acknowledgement.
I thought that was for me.
Yeah, that was for
No,
him to
that's the-
sign.
that's the first
Oh,
one.
I screwed
No.
up then.
That's
No,
got
that's
screwed
the
up.
EPA administration order.
Yeah,
No.
that's for
Do you
me,
mind if I
that's
do-
for me.
Yeah, that's
That's
it.
for him.
It's Chris Davis, but here it says, to acknowledge the attorney's recommendation to sign the administration order to consent.
That's me.
Yeah,
That's nothing to do with that.
That's
It
nothing
has
to do
anything
with
that has
57
to do with
Mechanic Street.
signing. It has nothing to do with 57. That's for me legally
Right.
to sign documents.
That has nothing to do with Mechanic
that's
Street.
what the lawyers pointed out.
The lawyers pointed out
This is-
two
You
things.
sign that.
That's him signing. It's not 57
So
Mechanic
I could
Street.
sign all the documents for
Correct.
Lisa.
That's the
AOC.
EPA.
It is
Yeah,
EPA, yeah.
It's the
That's what the
EPA.
lawyer told me to
We
do.
did that
That's
already, you're right.
not right.
For EPA. That's correct.
Well, we can get it to the
No.
agenda. Let's put it
No.
on the agenda.
There's a vote to do that.
Okay, then I wanna amend the agenda, add it to the agenda that we vote on this.
Vote on what?
Vote on the consent order, or what is it called, the order, consent order, it's something to do with that lawsuit for 57 Main, Mechanic Street. We vote to sign it. That's not it. Is that it? Agreement, settlement agreement. And this is from Chris Kenny. This was done in court. And it was, yep. Okay, I wanna amend the order, or amend it to say, this is a settlement agreement by between the Wetzels and Lawrenceville Borough.
Don't read too far.
I'm trying to pick out the highlights so I don't read it all. This agreement in consideration with mutual covenants and promises therein intended legally bound.
We should have all gotten a copy of that in our email.
Yeah.
We did.
We did.
So what are we doing? We make
But
a
I wouldn't,
motion?
I mean, this here, right here should probably be executive session.
Executive
If right now you guys are amending
legal
whether you
issues.
guys, if you guys are gonna do this, and she has making a motion right now to talk about 57. If you guys are okay with voting on that, and then we can talk about it.
And, I think it needs to be an executive session.
You guys still gotta vote
We
to.
gotta
So
vote
is
to
the
put it on the
motion to
agenda.
Then
Yeah,
to
the
add it to.
The agenda.
So I'll do that first.
Yes.
So your motion is to amend the agenda to
Add this.
add
The settlement.
the settlement agreement.
Wetzel better court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a motion on the floor to amend the agenda to add this discussion on the settlement.
Settlement agreement.
Can I see that?
Mhm.
Settlement agreement, I'm not going to read out the names.
No, don't do that.
Is there a number on this?
Doc number on it, I thought there was a doc number. Maybe at the very top, is there a doc number?
I'm just trying to, do this in a manner that doesn't. Okay, so Cindy's amending the agenda, wants to amend the agenda to add the settlement agreement for case file number 565 CV 2022, which is a disagreement between an individual in the borough. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Okay, we have a second. Roll call vote.
Who seconded?
Terry.
Terry did. Roll call vote. Michelle Corrigan.
No.
Terry Gleason.
Yes.
Cindy Burrows.
Yes.
Anthony Brown.
Yes.
Bob Penzo.
No.
Barry?
Yep, I'm just, you're keeping track of yays and nays?
I am.
Okay, Eddie,
Eddie can't.
Eddie's abstaining.
You got it.
Abstain.
Eddie Wetzel abstains. That leaves me. I'll say yes.
Executive session.
Executive session. Let's go to the conference room next door, so we don't.
Guys don't go outside, I
Yeah,
agree with that.
let's leave everybody inside.
So we'll move you guys.
The camera is turned around.
Yeah.
It was the holidays. Last time. where
They're not following
that was
the
live
rules.
streamed.
They're not following us.
I
I'm going
understand, it was dirt to the wall.
Can we turn any recording devices off so we can't?
How about yours?
I've heard
my name.
Good, yeah, kids,
But I can't tell her from, yeah, they always.
Executive session was live streamed last night.
That's why I'm moving it next door.
Kinda slow.
Angie, can you turn the cameras off during executive session, just because it through the wall thing?
I can
Please.
mute it.
Mute it.
Alright guys, so I have been asked very nicely to at least mute this while they're in executive session. So, I'm gonna go ahead and for now, we're gonna do this. I don't know if I'm gonna do it every time.
Yeah.
Thanks for your patience, but I'm not gonna shut it.
Yeah, but then the plastic thing comes off, right?
Get done?
It should.
I gotta get that one, this other
Thing that
piece.
goes over the phone.
It should come out, you just take your card.
Yeah.
Oh, look, see, there's a picture
Right.
Well, he wasn't real.
I'm just glad we didn't have to gear up
and go outside in the rain.
and go outside in the rain.
It's boring out there.
It's gonna, I think it's gonna be that all night pretty much.
Well, they said expect flooding.
Fuck, you guys.
What?
They said expect flooding.
People know where those places are.
Okay,
You know,
I have to make the statement that the reason for the executive session was due to legal issues. I can say there was no action taken. With that being said, if there's nothing else for the agenda, we can move on to old business. The old business deals with the money that, former council president, Chilson, got from a lost funds thing that, some people believe
That's
that.
the wind.
Huh?
The wind.
Oh, some people believe that this is money that belonged to the library. There is this old business there's discussion on whether that money should be returned. Right now it's applied to the loan that, we have for the borough. So, any discussion on that? Make a motion to,
Amend the agenda.
no, we don't have to amend the agenda, that's
It's on
right.
the agenda.
So the money was in the borough's name, right, so what's the, I don't wanna say the proof, but what's the documentation to show that it belongs to the library? And I've heard discussion, but, about this in the past, but is there something specifically that says it was tied or should have been tied to the library?
It came from Curtis Wright.
Right.
Yeah.
And the address was 6 Cherry Street.
The address was 6 Cherry Street, which is the library.
And it's in the will.
And it's in,
So is there a copy of the will?
Yes, there is.
So where is the copy of it?
Lucy
'Cause
has
that's
I
the key
usually have
good
it.
information.
Oh wait, I have.
I
hold
say
on.
it's the library's
Hold on.
money, give it
Okay,
back.
that's
Hold on,
great.
hold on,
I
hold
just
on,
asked
hold
him for a
on.
copy of.
He wants to see
he
it.
wants to see the will.
I got it.
Three.
I sent, Cindy, I sent you a copy of it, so I have it in a picture, hold on.
But before we make a motion on that, we need to have the discussion on it.
There were 3 different checks, I remember.
It come to a total of $263 and some.
263,000.
263,000, I'm sorry.
Let's see now.
I
Carrie,
planned the loan on it, it saves about $50,000
I'm aware of
a
that.
year.
I'm aware of that.
The money that the borough has to work on.
I'm aware of that.
Do you remember when you sent it, Lucy?
I'm looking, not that long ago. The one time I don't have it on me.
Can you search for her name?
Yeah, they search for her name
Yeah,
directly.
I am. Here it is.
I got it.
I think,
Got it?
I think,
No, that's the water one, never mind.
I think it was Bob that wanted to see that.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to get a paper copy to read it. I think that we should all have a copy of it.
The will? No, you really.
What?
Not the will.
You don't want a copy of it?
Here's the little.
Can you send me a copy of it?
It's right there, Curtis Wright Corporation.
Okay. Can you send me a copy?
I can, I don't have your,
Alright.
Can you give Lucy your email
Yeah,
address?
I'm not gonna do it here.
Okay.
Oh, I do have your email, I do have that, I take it back. Is it still the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so, any more discussion on this?
Where's the paperwork? When you get these checks and stuff, there should be paperwork with these checks. There should be some information that.
Like a stub or
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
An envelope or something.
I'm assuming that that's at, Penn York.
See, if
So
we
this
might
would
be
be,
able to
so this
locate
would
that.
be in past records, it would be in, like how we got our bills this month. It actually shows the breakdown, the check actually comes as part of, a photocopy. When
So
she
she
sends
should
it out.
have a copy.
It's in your portal.
We should be able to get that copy from.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking there's, like you said, there should be another part to it. You know how you get a
Right,
check
when you
in the
tear it
bottom?
out,
Yeah.
that's the part,
It
that's what
should
gets,
say what it's for there.
oh, no, it's just a check that's torn out. That's scanned.
That's where, you're talking about the payment that was made to
Right,
the.
the thing that says, if there's information above it, it's not gonna be on the records there, she doesn't scan that part. She just scans the check.
So we have a check out there that we don't know, other than it's, to this company, what was the company name?
Curtis Wright.
Curtis Wright, check that came from Curtis Wright, that,
No, it didn't come from
Yeah.
Curtis Wright.
Should
It
be
say the check.
Treasury.
Yeah, the check would say the name of Curtis Wright.
No, the
Or
check
wherever
that
it
comes
came
will
from.
come from the Treasury Department
Yeah,
of
Right, because it's
Pennsylvania.
unclaimed funds.
because it was
Right.
unclaimed.
And they put it in the name of the.
Right, that's how it would show up.
Okay, as Cleo mentioned, this went towards the loan. If we choose to do this, that $260-some thousand and change, well, $263,275.95 is gonna come off that loan, and we're gonna still owe money on it, which we're going to have to pay interest on.
$50,000 a year.
About, yeah, that's what she told us.
But Cleo, that wasn't the borough's money, it belongs to the library.
It was the borough's money.
No, it
No, it
wasn't.
was earmarked for the library.
Do you wanna see the will? Can I just say something? I think, I don't know this for sure, but I think that it happened because everything was at 6 Cherry Street and there was never any, mail that went to 6 Cherry Street. I think this has probably been going on for years. That's my suspicion, I don't know, but I
So-
think that's what happened.
With that being said, do you have a means to put up a mailbox at 6 Cherry Street?
Yeah, remember I brought that up sooner.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would do that as quickly as
Yeah.
possible.
Yes, that's the
Um,
plan.
So, do we wanna do anything with this, or what are we doing?
I say table it till Bob gets more
Yeah, I need
information.
to see that paperwork.
How about that? Table it.
So the recommendation is to table this until we get the information.
You guys didn't get it when you were there.
What
I'll second
information?
that.
For the check.
I'll second.
I just got-
So there's
Did
a
you make a
motion.
motion?
No, I didn't make the motion.
I'll make a motion to
has
table
it.
it.
Michelle makes a motion to table this until we get more information.
I'll second.
Bob seconded. Any discussion on that?
Who
So-
has that information?
We're gonna check with Vicky. CPA.
and then we'll go from there. With that being said, there's a motion to table this for more information. Motion was made by Michelle Courtright, seconded by Bob Benzone. Roll call vote, Michelle Courtright,
Yes.
Terry Gleason,
No.
Cindy Burrows.
What am I voting on?
To table this.
No.
So, you got them. Anthony Urbano,
No.
Robert Penzone,
Voting to table, yes.
Eddie Wetzel,
No.
Barry?
thinking. Let's not table it, let's get this work done.
Okay.
So I vote no, not to table.
Nope. Okay. we're
Okay,
just
so
not-
we're gonna have to make a motion, do we wanna return this money or not? And I'm not telling you what to make a motion, but
So
somebody.
make a motion to send it to the committee. Or we can,
The finance committee?
So right now we have a motion from Bob Penzone to send this to the finance committee. Do I have a second?
And come back with recommendations.
I second.
Okay, Anthony seconded that motion. Do you wanna have any discussion on that? If not, I'm gonna move to a roll call vote. Michelle?
Yes.
And
Um,
to send
send
this
it
to
to the
finance.
finance
So the
committee.
motion on, the
I
motion
have-
on the floor is to send this to the finance committee.
I have a question.
Okay.
Is the motion for them to do a research, or is it to make the decision?
It's to do the research and come back with the information recommendation.
Terry,
Yes.
Cindy,
No.
can't smell nothing, I got cold.
Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Eddie.
No.
I'm gonna vote yes with that. So motion carried 4-3. So this will go to the finance committee, we'll set a meeting with the finance committee right away and, come up with a recommendation for that.
And it says it.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I think I know public comments.
Oh, we do?
Okay,
I
public
missed it.
public comments,
Oh, running up.
Register.
public comments.
On that issue, I'd say that the taxpayers of the borough should, reap the benefits from that.
Stealing
The
money?
library is a branch of the borough council itself. They have no financing themselves at all, do the borough.
That's not true,
It is
Leo.
true.
It's not true.
It's-
We
That's true.
get
Okay, your
dividends
comments duly
quarterly
noted.
from the trust fund.
Duly noted, correct? Any other public comments?
I have a comment.
I just feel myself, the money should go back to the library. That's my feeling and opinion on it.
And-
It belongs to them.
I'm
Gordy screwed them over enough,
I'm fully aware, we've made
along with Cleo and
we
everybody else.
made a recommendation to take it to the finance committee, we'll
People
come
who
back
pay
with it.
taxes in this borough should benefit from not having to pay all that interest every year.
I agree, and like I said, both your points are duly noted.
Angie?
I have a, so on that note about the taxpayers' money, being utilized properly and managed properly, there was a discussion about the security of the building here. Specifically, I just want to make a comment and point out that we hashed over this over the summer, and there was actually motions made and money spent. So if I could just comment to recommend to check out what's invoices have been spent already on building that security system, it might benefit the community because some of that money has already been spent, or at least motioned to be spent. So it comes back to managing the taxpayers' money responsibly. But we did have this discussion last year.
This will go to committee. I thank everybody for their comments. Is there any other public comments?
She's right, there was motions passed to put security cameras in, but
We never acted
followed
on it.
through. We had bigger fish to fry, we didn't go through.
Never acted on it.
Yeah, I think we had quotes even.
Just,
Just a clerical, there was opening the budget, we need motions for that, that got caught up in the wash. So,
The motion was already made to reopen the budget.
Just needs to already made.
okay, so we need to vote for that. So we're talking about the motion that was made to reopen the budget. Oh, Terry's got we voted on that, no swear.
No.
I
You already did a roll call vote. So Terry made the motion to amend the agenda to reopen the budget. Michelle seconded, it passed 6-1. You did nothing with it.
So it's already been done.
Okay, so that's already been done. I don't know, you.
And that's why they had me.
You're getting me in trouble there. Getting me in trouble. Do we have any other public comments?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Michelle Courtright made a motion to adjourn. Do I hear a second?
I second.
Terry, Anthony Urbano, made a motion to second. If you don't wanna discuss that, I'm gonna put it to a vote. Michelle Courtright,
Yes.
Terry Gleason,
Yes.
Cindy Burrows,
Yes.
Anthony Urbano,
Yes.
Bob Penzone,
yes.
Eddie Wetzel.
Yes.
And I'll vote yes as well.
Time,
7-0.
you tell me a time.
8:59.
8:59.
I'm just.
Okay, so,
I just wondered.
this is the document that I need to sign.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
This
I
one.
keep a copy right now. Okay. So we got this number here, okay?
Right.
And then you've got this number here.
Without getting specific, you know what I'm saying? It's like-
Am I the only one that needs to sign this?
Oh, and then you add these two together.
So yeah, if you take this
Do I-
Which
Adopted.
Yeah, it's exactly what's on the
Okay,
front.
5, 6, 6, 7.
she's
Yeah,
got my
it's
other
5, 6, 8, 2 is these two together. No,
January
this,
9th.
no,
It's this number,
9th
5,
of
6, 6, 7.
January,
Okay,
I-
I'm down the number. I don't know where that number came from.
And you
Should only go one.
So, what's that, 5?
Alright, let's go outside, guys. Well, I don't know, maybe we're not going all the way outside. We might not be.
6, 7,
If you add this figure,
You're gonna want to keep
that gives you that.
Yeah.
Did I get everything?
Yes.
If I have my eggs in one basket, I'm doing good. Goals. So real quick, guys, there was some progress. It is not quite as bad as it was last time. Anyway, wanted to make sure I updated you on that. I am running low on battery, so actually I don't want to stand here. It could be like, finish at the bathroom. The wind is blowing really bad outside. I don't know if you guys noticed that the power is flickering a little bit, but I'm gonna turn this around. Give me a second here. Real quick, wanted to share a little bit with you. I have a couple of thank yous, as you guys noticed. Mark Rice, he came and he actually sat through a lot of the executive session. So with that being said, Tioga County Commissioners, Sam Van Loon, I did meet him while they were campaigning. Mr. Mark Rice, who is here tonight, who I've interacted with at plenty of meetings, and Shane Nickerson are both, all three, your new county commissioners. Sandra Olson, district attorney, let's see. Those new appointments. Register and recorder, Carrie Ann Shabrick. I hope I didn't butcher that, but so anyway, that's new positions, new appointments. Your commissioners. Mark and I had a short talk about me coming back. Sorry about the hat hair, but I haven't had time. Big shout out to Vicki Willis, the CPA, who is doing a bunch of the bill work, and we've got some clarification on some questions that we had. We can talk about that later. If I go outside, the wind is really crazy, so I'm gonna try to end this. We're listening to that whistle inside. So guys, always check on your neighbors, especially with the weather the way that it's been. Thank a veteran, always share the stream, and thanks for your participation and your support. See you next time, maybe sooner, you never know. All right, bye.